welcome to Adipa. Hi, make sure you subscribe and subscribe to the YouTube channel because I'm back. Guys. I've been away from Adipa for so long. There's that time in life whereby you just change lanes, but you come back to the same lane. So that's where I am right now. But today I want to talk about how hard it is to leave domestic abuse. And honestly, it is very, very hard to leave domestic abuse. A lot of people always just ask this question: why doesn't she leave? Why is she still there? Why is she not leaving? Many people ask that question. It is hard to leave a domestic abuse situation because a lot of times it's because you have a child with that person. Sometimes it's because you love that person. Sometimes it's because they take care of you financially. Sometimes it's because they have made you feel so bad about yourself that you don't even feel like you can succeed by yourself. Sometimes it's because you're scared of family. Sometimes it's because religion is involved. Sometimes the fear of just having that divorce name, and sometimes it's just what people will say, and sometimes it's just because you don't know how, so it is good to it is good to not to be too hard on women who can't leave. And it is hard as a friend if you're trying to help somebody who is coming from divorce, from abusive relationship, somebody who's being abused. A lot of people, friends, they find it so hard to help those women because you tell them this, they go and do something else. You tell them don't go, they go. You tell them don't call him, they call him. What are you gonna do? Let me tell you, the only thing you can do as a friend is to just be patient. You plant the seed in their ear. You tell them it is not good, because eventually the seed will grow. If you keep telling somebody, you tell them, even though they don't want to hear it, and but you still be nice, you still let them call you, you still give them that time, you still, it is hard, I'm telling you. And sometimes it's okay to take a break from them. If you keep telling them and they keep calling you, it's okay, but do not give up on people like that, because it is very hard to leave an abusive relationship. A lot of people who are in an abusive relationship end up being forced to leave. They are forced to leave because either they fought so hard that they've been hurt enough. I always tell people that for somebody to leave abuse, the shoe will have to hurt them. I remember telling a girl, you need to leave, you need to leave, you need to leave, you need to leave. But they couldn't leave. But I said, one day, if you have the shoe and the shoe is hurting you, have you ever put on shoes that is so tight that is hurting your feet? Do you know you eventually will take it out? So sometimes the abuse will have to get in them so hard. And sometimes people get so hurt that it is hard to reverse that. But there's nothing we can do, because as an adult, you can't force a grown-up to leave a man. You can't force a grown-up to listen. You can only plant the seed. So all I can ask you to do is to plant seed to that woman who you are trying to let know that they are being abused. Keep telling them. I remember I had somebody kept telling me, oh, you're being abused, you're being abused. That is years ago. You're being abused. And I was not hearing it. Even when the police was called, I was just like, what are they saying, abuse? This man ain't hitting me. But abuse is emotional. That emotional control, that thing calling you fat, ugly, those things are worse. They're worse than being hit. Being told, it makes you feel you don't even want to get out. Do you know that there are people who are being abused? They're grown-up people, but they cannot leave their house because they've been told they're so ugly. There are grown-up people who have been told that that maybe they're so fat that they don't even want to wear certain clothes. Do you know that there's some people who've been told that they are so, nobody wants them, that they fear walking out. They fear even calling relatives because they believe that those relatives don't want them. Do you know that there are people in women, grown-up women who you're talking to every day, who you are associating with every day, who post very nice things on Facebook, who share very beautiful pictures on Facebook, but inside they are being abused. They are being abused. Inside they are suffering in silence. And the reason why sometimes they post those pictures is to lie to people, to make people think they're doing okay, but they're not doing okay. The women that sometimes look the strongest are the ones that are sometimes suffering in silence. And that's why it's good to hear your friends' hearts cry. You know, they will talk to you, but it's also good to read when they're hurt. It's also good to read your friend and to read somebody, because sometimes they don't want to say it. Sometimes they don't want to talk about it. Sometimes they're tired of talking about it. Sometimes they're so scared, you know, but they're suffering in silence. Let me tell you, the only thing I can tell you is that with abuse, people suffer in silence. With abuse, all you can do is plant a seed if they can't leave. You can't force them. Some people are forced to leave because they've hit somebody. You know, because a man, during a fight, sometimes you're the one who will end up hurting that guy. And if you hurt that guy, guess what? You end up in jail. You know? Or sometimes you end up losing your children. Sometimes in your anger, you abuse him. Sometimes in your anger, you end up, do you know how many women who are being abused are now being accused of abuse? Be very careful. You know, they'll tape you. What, the one time that you get angry, the one time that you decide to fight back is the day that you will be caught. Is the day that you will see Pepe. Is the day that you'll be branded abuser. So be very, very careful. If it is so bad, my sister, please leave. And if you can't leave, then make a plan. Know what an exit plan is. An exit plan, you start saving money, you start having friends, you start taping, you start keeping all those texts, you start getting ready that if anything happens, in Kenya they say jipange, you have to jipanga, you know? But you cannot be stupid forever. Even if you're not ready to leave, learn to put an exit plan for your kids. Make sure that you have the papers for your kids. Make sure that you know where your kids go to school. Make sure you know everything about your kids, about your family, about his family, about him. If you don't have papers in the country where you are living, then make sure you have all his information so you can be helped. There's help out there. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking more. Adipa, speak up. Adipa just means speak up. Adipa, speak up. We should not be silent. The more silent we are, people like us who came from abuse, I'm in a very happy marriage right now, but people who came from abuse should be speaking up. It is hard, but the more we are planting seed, 2 people may watch this, but 1 person may use this information to help themselves. In America, I'm still going to conclude. In America, there is a law called VAWA, Violence Against Women's Act. If you're in America and you're being abused, if you're married to that person, even if it's for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, you can still file for papers without him. They will not tell him, they will not inform him that you're filing, but you can still be saved. So do not suffer in silence. Adipa, speak up. Share my video, like it, do whatever, but please, let's talk about this. Thank you. Adipa, speak up.